On this episode of Tractor Roy, we're going to be rebuilding the carburetor on a Farmall M. To do this, you don't have to take off the manifold. We just had to take off the manifold of this one anyways because we were getting into the engine, and we left the carburetor attached just because it was easy. So first thing we're going to do is pop this off. The manifold for this thing, we're getting a replacement coming. The threads here on the end are a little messed up. So this one's going to go on my parts M for the time being because it was a distillate tractor and has a distillate manifold. And that manifold, that one's broken, so this is better than nothing. The engine's freed up on it, so I don't want to let a bunch of moisture get in there if I can help it. So first, oh, that's pretty tight. So first I'm going to take this carburetor off and I'll be right back with you. Okay, the carburetor's sitting here. Here's our carburetor kit we got. IHS 1896 from Steiner Tractor Parts. This one fits an M and an MV. It's the same style of carburetor as like a 300 is, but I don't know if it's the same or not. So I got to keep in mind of what I'm taking off of this to make sure we have it in the kit. We just went with a basic kit, not the economy, but we didn't go with the premium either. This one was like, I don't know, right around $40 maybe, something like that. So I got to be careful that I don't take out like all the bushings and Welch plugs because I don't know if they for sure come in this kit or not. Okay, we're going to split the bowl from the top half, split the two halves of the carburetor apart. Okay, so we've taken out the 4 bolts that hold the halves of the carburetor together. We have our fuel inlet screen that is very plugged up and it smells very old. So my guess is this tractor has been sitting at least 20 years.
Yeah.
So we'll split the halves here. And sometimes you gotta tap it. Gosh, I don't even have a dead blow over here at my house. Sometimes you have to tap them apart to get that old gasket to break free. There we go.
There you go.
Oh, this one's gross.
Oh,
Oh boy.
that's
Oh.
oh.
Oh, it's just like tar in there. Gross. Yeah. Probably can't see anything on camera. I mean, it's not like you can see much in here either, but gosh, that is potent. Ugh.
That smells bad too.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh, that smells awful too.
now what we're gonna try and do is we'll take a screwdriver, stick it in that slot where the float pivot pin is. You just give it a little twist. It doesn't take much. You don't want to bend that totally out of place. Then we'll take out our float pivot. Yeah, it kind of smells gross, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh, our float has a hole in it. So we can either try and patch the pinhole if we can find it, or we might just order a new float for it. Okay, I'll take out our needle and seat because they're stuck together.
That seat.
I'm unscrewing the seat.
Oh. Where's the needle?
The needle is right there inside of it,
Oh.
but it's kind of stuck.
Oh.
Okay, so we just took out the needle and seat hole. Yeah, I can't get that needle out. We're replacing it anyways. What else we got? So most of these, it's a good idea if you don't have any idea. It's a good process if you don't know what these are set at to run them in until they're all the way snug and keep an eye on how many turns. So that one was 3/4 of a turn. So if you keep that in mind for when you put this back together, you can get it to a pretty decent starting spot. It seems like most carburetors are about 1.5 turns out from seated. This one was 3/4, which doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It could be that somebody was messing with it trying to compensate for something, but it's probably okay. Okay, I think while we're in here, we're gonna, ooh, that's very stuck.
Yeah. I tried to turn it, but it was so stuck.
Oh my gosh. So we're going to take off our throttle plate here. Those are just 2 screws in the middle.
There's 2 looking needles. Like needles.
Those are jets.
Oh, jets. That's cool.
Take out our butterfly.
Is that a butterfly?
Yep.
Oh.
And we'll take out our throttle rod. Maybe. There.
Oh.
And then there's going to be some packing on
Oh, that has
the inside to seal it right here, a bushing.
Then there's
We'll leave it alone to make sure that we got what we need before we start taking it apart. Oh, we got one right here that you can clean, you take out this plug so you can clean out the passageway.
I cannot read that.
Gentle.
I cannot read that. That is going to take it apart all the way.
Okay. And that's all that we're going to take out off of here at the moment. We'll have to wait until we get that carburetor soaking to see if we can get that out. There's the top half. Now for the bottom half, it's pretty close to the same thing. We just got what? Valve here. There's a plug down in the bottom. This out. Oh, what else we got? We got one of these. You want to be really careful with these. These are easy to break because they get seized up. So we'll unscrew that one. I don't know about this one. That one might have been broken off already. Somebody might have been in here and broken it. We'll see. What else we got? Just this right here. There's the bottom end of our of this jet. I think we got a little plug right here. Yep. And then this.
What's that?
It's just one of the. Now that we've got everything taken out of our carburetor, we're going to use this can of Berryman Chem Dip. I've had this thing for like 10 years now and I've probably done, I don't know, 50, 60 carburetors out of it. There for a while I was doing small engine carburetors like crazy. Everybody would just give, or like all the family members would just give me all their old chainsaws and lawnmowers and stuff that wouldn't run anymore, and then clean the carburetors out, and that would pretty much fix it. So we're gonna soak everything. I'm still gonna have to scrape some of this stuff off afterwards, but this is a good start. Loosen everything up. So once this is done soaking, then I'll see you back here. Okay, so all of our parts have been soaking now. These are the old parts. This is everything. I haven't thrown anything away yet. I want to make sure that the new one is going to have what we need before we throw away the old one. This I didn't clean because, can you see that? That's pretty gross. The seat is actually stuck in there, so there's been some old fuel in there for a long time. So there's our old stuff. This is our new stuff. We got the 2 halves of our carburetor. We only have 2 gaskets, one that goes between the 2 halves, just like so, and then the other one where it mounts to the intake manifold right there. So I'm just going to go through all of our parts here, lay them out, see what we got, and I'll get back with you. So here's kind of everything laid out. There's our choke rod. There's the fuel float pivot pin. That's the old one, and there's a new one. That's the bolts for holding the 2 halves of the carburetor together. We got our new throttle rod. We have a new what's that, power adjusting needle, something like that. There's the inlet screen for the fuel. There's our throttle plate. There's our choke plate. Those are both old. There's the main jet. There's the plug at the bottom of it there. Then we got a couple of new screws for our butterfly on the throttle plate. And then all of our new O-rings and packings. So yeah, we're going to start getting this thing thrown back together. Okay, now we're going to work on getting this choke rod in there. So we're going to add our little packing ring, stick our packing on there. We're going to slide this in there. Then we also have that detent ball that sits on the spring and then rides in here. That way your choke doesn't just like rattle closed. It kind of snaps open and holds open. So we'll kind of press, give her a little tap to seat that packing ring. Oh yeah, we're pretty nice and sealed now. So now that that's in, we're going to take our detent ball. This is about where you need 3 hands, but we're going to try and push it down while we run this. I'm going to have to pull it out a little bit. Okay. There. Okay, we're in. Now's the fun part. As I already lose this ball. I have to try and hold it closed while I screw this. So I'm going to have to get back with you because it's going to take me a second to do this. Okay, so the screws are started in here. I left the first one loose until I got the second one started. That way I can still move stuff around if I need to. Now I'm going to snug these up. You don't want them overly tight, just snug. And now we should, oh yeah, see how it locked in there? Pretty good. You can feel that detent just kick it in. So our choke is good. It moves freely. We're not hanging up anywhere. And our little detent ball is riding in the track just fantastically. It moves nice and smooth until you get to the full open choke. And you can even hear it. Latches right in. So that's a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in while it's here. This other one is broken off. We're just going to run it. I don't really want to deal with trying to extract that. I know it's not totally right, but that's the way I'm going to do it. Again, snug, not tight. Not even finger tight. Mostly just like finger snug. Okay. So this is called the discharger nozzle, apparently. That goes right down in here. And then on the back side, we're going to use the plug, or the other end of it, with our fiber ring. Close that all up. Okay, there's that. Okay, so we're pretty much done with that for now. So now we'll go ahead and stick our throttle rod in here. And we'll attach our throttle butterfly. There's a little number on here. This one's 12 degrees. That goes up. And then it's about as fun as that choke was too. So I'll see you back here in a minute when I'm done. Okay, that's tightened up. No binding. It opens and closes super nice. So that part's done now.
When oil, does oil go through that?
Gas does.
Gas goes through that and that butterfly opens?
Oh, so when you open the butterfly in here, it lets more air in. So the bigger the opening, the more air that goes in. So when it's closed like that, you're not letting in as much air. So then the tractor doesn't run as fast. The engine doesn't run as fast. So when you let more air into it, all that tons more air pulls more gas into it. So then the more air you have, the more gas you have, the faster the engine runs.
Oh.
Yep. Do you know that?
Oh.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to take my fuel inlet screen, stick another fiber gasket on here. This goes in right there. And I'm probably going to have to track down which wrench this was because I kind of cleaned up since I was in here last. Oh, it's that, I betcha. So this one was just I think it was the basic kit. It wasn't the economy kit. When you get like the master kit and stuff, you'll replace these Welch plugs and the bushings inside here, and it comes with new butterflies, and it comes with, instead of just the throttle rod, it comes with the choke rod too. It comes with some other stuff too that doesn't come with this kit that I got. Now I'm going to do
Okay.
Now I'm going to do our needle and seat. There's the new needle. There's the new seat with our fiber ring. Back up. Thank you. Also, our Venturi is seized in there. Rather than damage it trying to get it out, I'm just going to leave it in there. There's probably some passages that as we would have liked to, but we'll make do with it. We're just dropping our needle in there. Sometimes it's attached to this float, but it's not in this case. Our float goes in like that. We'll take our new pivot rod, stick that in there, and then we're kind of going to give this a little squeeze back together. Okay, now that we've got that, oh, I forgot my freaking gasket. So I gotta pull this back out. Now I gotta stick the gasket in. Gasket's in there, now the float.
Why did you forget your gasket?
I just did.
That's silly.
This whole thing goes over the top like so.
Okay. Looks cool. It looks clean. Dad.
And now I'm going to install the bolts holding the two halves together. So I'll see you in a minute. Two halves are together. Now I'm going to take my packing. Oh, and that's going to go under here and inside of here. And this is going to go through it. Now that packing I just stuck in there seals up against this. It prevents this from backing out under vibration, and it helps seal it up.
I just almost fell.
Okay, so this is the fuel adjusting needle, and you go until it bottoms out, and then you come back off 3 turns, and that's the initial setting of it. Okay. Three, and then I'm going to have to hold this with my screwdriver while I tighten up the jam nut, the packing nut. This one takes 3 hands. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Tight. Now. Oh, what do we want to do now? Now let's go with, let's get the terminology right again. Okay, so this one is the idle metering jet.
Dad, I'm just gonna have this
And then,
packing.
okay. And then this one you're going to run so this one's the idle adjusting jet. This one you're going to run 1 turn off its seat. Seems like in my experience 1.5 turns with most carburetors is pretty good, but that's what this rebuilt kit states. There's tight, half, 1. Now we got to do our idle adjustment. Screw, and that goes up here. If you notice, part of our mounting flange is broken off of the throttle, but it's not. This mounting flange is more important than this one. We still got 1, so we should still be okay. Okay, so I'm going to touch that so it holds it tight. And then I'm going to run until it just starts to open it. Right there. And then we can adjust it from there once this thing is running. Okay, now we got this plug in the back side here. Got a thread back in. Okay, so we got 1 for where it mounts up to our governor. This is where the throttle shaft comes off of the governor and mounts up. This is the one that we have 1 of them broken off, but we still have 1, so it'll be enough. So the only thing we have left is the gasket where it mounts to the manifold. And we'll wait until we get this thing on the tractor. And that's as far as we're going to go with this. We're not going to be able to run it right now until we get that engine thrown back together on that Farmall M. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this one, if you learned something, like it, subscribe, throw a comment down below, tell me how I'm doing with this, and I hope I'll catch you on the next one.